Hi, I'm Ronald, the rules lawyer, and I am a lawyer who loves tabletop role-playing games. Today I'll talk about the top 5 reasons why D&D 5e players should try Pathfinder 2nd Edition. But first I'll address the myth that Pathfinder is too hard, and it's not. Since 2012, I've been teaching middle schoolers this and other crunchy RPGs, and I know that they can learn this game. The rules I find are more intuitive and easier to remember at the table and make more sense than those from 5e. There's just a learning curve to absorb them. And the beginner box is the way you can get through that learning curve. It's the best product in the market for learning a high fantasy RPG. It has handy reference cards, a solo adventure, and an adventure that the game master can run literally off the page without having read anything else, and every room teaches new parts of the rules. And once you've gone through the beginner box, the core rulebook, the big book, is just a big book of player options. Also, Path Builder and Wanderer's Guide are free online tools to make your character to navigate the options for your character, and D&D does not have a free tool. The number 5 reason is you want to play from level 1 to 20. D&D 5e is only really balanced from 3 to 10 and roughly balanced, but Pathfinder stays tight from 1 to 20. So this is your chance to have those epic adventures against Baylor demons and titans without the game breaking, and the monsters stay challenging and your characters get tangibly more powerful. Every level up is exciting. Your numbers go up, including your AC at every level. You get to choose 1 to 3 feats, and they don't compete against your ability score increases. Your skills get to improve further, up to legendary, and if you're legendary in intimidation, you can scare monsters to death. And martial characters continue to grow and develop beyond level 10, and can have awesome feats like Whirlwind Strike or Dragon Transformation. The number 4 reason is you want content and you want access to that content. Since summer 2019, Pathfinder has released 8 fully playtested classes, many subclasses, dozens of ancestries, many new feats, hundreds of spells, hundreds of magic items, and all of these new options are free online on Archives of Nethys, and available in the free character creation builders, Path Builder and Wanderer's Guide, so it doesn't cost you a dime to try Pathfinder. Also, it's generally regarded that what Paizo puts out has been more consistent and of higher quality than what Wizards of the Coast puts out. The number 3 reason is you want to be able to make unique characters. In D&D, if you've seen one assassin rogue, you've seen them all. And if you've seen one bear totem barbarian, you pretty much know what to expect from the next one. But in Pathfinder, your subclass, you can have 2 of the same subclass that play entirely differently from each other. So 2 animal instinct barbarians, one can be part frog and have a 15-foot tongue attack by level 8, and the other can have a wolf jaw attack that can trip people. The versatile heritage system lets you essentially graft one ancestry or race onto another, so that not all tieflings are part human. You can have an elf tiefling or a goblin tiefling, and I have a 12-year-old player who made a leshy, which is a plant ancestry that is part Asimar, and he called it Shrubby. You can also take archetypes instead of taking a class feat. Archetypes are Pathfinder's version of multiclassing, and they don't have to be in another class. There are archetypes for things like Assassin or Poisoner or Martial, which lets you inspire your allies in combat. There's an archetype for Beastmaster, so that no matter what your base class is, you can choose to take an animal companion. Oh, and there are animal companion stats for capybaras and for leg chairs, which you can ride into battle. So a lot of unique, quirky choices in the system also. And you can take these archetypes while not sacrificing any of your progression in your main class. So you can take the cleric archetype and put some more feats into that archetype and get 8th level spells in cleric, while as a main wizard, you continue to progress and can have 10th level spells, which yes, exist in Pathfinder as a wizard, and take the 20th level wizard feats. So you can do all of these choices also while it stays balanced. You don't have to worry about arriving at the same table as someone else, and because you prioritized flavor, that you're weaker than somebody else who decided to optimize. The choices remain within the same power band, and so that gives you the freedom to choose what you want based on what expresses your concept without having to worry about doing gimmicks to make yourself powerful. The number 2 reason is you want to try the 3-action system. There's no more clunky distinction between actions and bonus actions. You have 3 actions that you get to use on your turn, and some things cost 1, 2, or 3 actions. It's more intuitive, it gives you more freedom to mix and match. You can walk up to an enemy and attack them 2 times, or you can walk up to them, attack them, walk back away, and not everything has opportunity attack anymore, so there's more mobility and positioning in combat. Or you can walk up to them, attack, and raise your shield. Also, making more than 1 attack on your turn incurs the multiple attack penalty on your accuracy, which is significant. So you're going to see yourself doing different things like raising your shield, demoralizing the enemy, doing a feint before you attack. So every turn is different. There are spells that do different things depending on how many actions you cast on them. Marshals also have more options. They get to take feats that get to do more powerful things that cost 2 actions or even 3 actions. There are spells that that take 2 rounds to cast, such as Pathfinder's version of Kamehameha, and they are awesome when you cast them. And there are no clunky moments like, oh, I can't sustain spiritual weapon this turn because I already spent my bonus action on something else. Sustaining spiritual weapon in Pathfinder just costs 1 of your 3 actions. The result is that you'll experience much more freedom than you've experienced in any other system, and you kind of will dislike going back to other action systems. The number 1 reason is you want more satisfying combat. In D&D, a battle can end too soon, and that sucks if it's against a villain that's been built up for many months, or it can outlast its welcome, and you find yourself just watching the hit point totals tick down, and the DM hand-waving the rest of the battle. Or it can be too hard, or too easy, and you can't get that balance of presenting genuine danger to the party, and the party having a fair chance of winning. In Pathfinder, the encounter building system works, and you can consistently get that balance. Combine that with the fact that every monster in Pathfinder has some unique signature ability, and is therefore more memorable, and also forces the party to adjust its tactics to that monster. And so combine that with the 3-action economy and the greater freedom that you are basically making decisions in battle that can determine whether you win or lose. And you're going to be talking to your fellow players about how to do this. And it means that when you win, it's more satisfying. You've earned it. It also awards teamwork. It doesn't have the binary advantage-disadvantage system and them canceling each other out. You can now combine the various advantages that you and your allies create against an enemy. Combine that with the 4 degrees of success system, which rewards a critical success if you beat the target number by 10, or critical failure if you miss by 10. You can set up a big critical hit by the fighter that knocks the enemy prone, and it's a huge moment in combat, and you earned it together. And the 4 degrees of success system also means that crits happen more often. And critical failures can happen too. Those kobolds can critically fail against your fireball and take double damage. It makes every d20 roll, the result of each d20 roll, unexpected and more exciting. So I hope you're convinced, and if you have a question, leave it in the comments. I read all the comments, and I'll try to answer them as much as I can. So some advice if you're trying Pathfinder. First is to use the beginner box. It's the best way to learn the system, and I have a review on my channel in which I go through the components and demonstrate how well it teaches the system, and it also goes through a combat demonstration of the first room. 2 is to start at level 1. No need to start at a higher level in Pathfinder. It's balanced at level 1, and all of your character's class abilities come online at level 1. You also want to unlearn some old habits before you start deciding on your level of choices in the system. Number 3 is to subscribe to my channel. I plan to do some more videos to help 5e players try out Pathfinder. If you have requests on specific areas of the rules or ideas, please leave those in the comments, and I will try to do those. Number 4 is to join my Discord channel server, and there's a link in the video description where you can do pickup games of Pathfinder 2e. The community is very welcoming. So that's it. I want to thank my patrons for making my channel possible. If you haven't supported it, please do so now if you like what I do. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.